guys, welcome back to another day of Bookmas. I have hot chocolate, my tree is lit and decorated, and I'm just so ready to finally get really into the Christmas spirit. So for the next week or so, I'm gonna be reading as many holiday books as I can, starting off with this one, which is All I Want Is You by Fallon Ballard, because I'm currently in the middle of this one. I'm on chapter 8, which is page 72, so I'm maybe like a third of the way into this one because it's very short. And so far, I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than I expected to. This one is a second chance romance between two romance authors, and I feel like we are off to a good start. I'm glad I picked this one. And ideally, I would love to finish this one tonight. I mean, it's only like 160 pages, but unfortunately I do have other responsibilities that I need to do tonight, so I don't really think that's gonna happen. I already have my ambiance and everything set, so I'm just gonna curl up on the couch behind me and read as much of this as possible. So it's been a little while since I filmed those last clips, and now I have two books to update you on. First, I did finish All I Want Is You by Fallon Ballard. It's probably been a week since I finished this, so honestly it's not the most fresh in my mind, and at this point I still don't think I've actually put a rating on it. I feel like it's probably a 3-star. I don't remember if I already said this, but I think that this is my very first second chance romance, and I feel like I enjoyed that part a little bit more than I expected to. The one thing that kind of threw me off about this book, which it really shouldn't have, I feel like it was my fault, is this was super spicy, and I feel like just because I didn't know that going into it, I kind of just wasn't in the mood for it. It wasn't really what I was looking for. I mean, I feel like in general, my taste now is that I don't love books that are super spicy, especially in a book that is this small. I feel like there was a disproportionate amount of spice scenes compared to just good old plot. And most of the times I was just thinking, okay, I could live without this. Like, we could get rid of these. But I don't think that should reflect negatively on the book at all. That's just my personal preference. And like I said, that's my fault for not knowing that going into it. The front has a quote from Courtney Kay that says, "The season's sweetest and steamiest." And Hannah Bonham Young said, "Filled to the brim with spice and tension." So if I actually paid a little bit more attention, I would have known that going into it. But overall, I enjoyed this. I feel like with most of these holiday books, they're never really gonna get a super high rating because they're just pretty light, fluffy, quick. And especially one like this that's only 240 pages, I don't think that it's meant to be like a literary masterpiece. I went into this with the expectation that it would be a cute, fluffy, Hallmark movie-esque romance, and I feel like that's what I got. I didn't get anything extra or like really connect with it or anything to push it over the 3-star, but that's certainly not a bad thing. Then I moved on to Spectacular by Stephanie Garber, and this is one of my most anticipated releases of the whole year. I love Stephanie Garber. I love Once Upon a Broken Heart and the Caraval series, which if you're unaware, they are young adult fantasy series, and this is a holiday novella that takes place after the events of the Caraval series. I have been reading this for probably a week, which is so insane because this is easily a book that I think I could sit down and read in like 2 or 3 hours, which is saying something because I am like the slowest reader ever. But one thing that I didn't totally understand is that this is basically an adult picture book. I knew it had illustrations in it, but I didn't know it had this many. I love the end papers. And then we just have illustrations on like every other page, which are beautiful and I'm really enjoying it, but it does mean that there's not a whole lot of substance, not a whole lot of words on here. And I really feel like I should have sat down and just knocked this out in one day, but I've just been so busy with work and life and Bookmas especially. I feel like when I have any free time, I've just been trying to focus on Bookmas, editing and getting other videos out. So that's why it's been taking me over a week, but I'm almost at the end. I'm on page 152 and there are like 220. So my goal for tonight is to finish this and then start my next book. I don't really know what I can say without spoiling the Caraval series. So I'm just gonna say that Tala is the main character in this one, and it takes place during the Great Holiday, I think is what it's called, which basically sounds like Christmas, and she is on the hunt for the perfect gift for somebody and she runs into trouble. I knew going into this that obviously it's a novella, it's very short, so there's not gonna be a whole lot going on, but I do enjoy being back in the world of Caraval. I feel like maybe it's been a little bit too long since I read the series for me to get that excited and really invested in it again. I am enjoying it, but so far I would say it's like a 3.5, not anything higher at the moment. I would probably be enjoying it a little bit more if I read the whole thing in one sitting. So I'm gonna try and sit down and read the last 70 pages with no interruptions, and we'll see how it goes. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the windows in the rain is pouring, it will always be Christmas in my heart. Okay, I quite literally just finished this. Just closed the book and I have some thoughts. I feel like this is a little bit of a disappointment for me. To be fair, I feel like I didn't go in with the highest of expectations because it's really short and I haven't read Caraval in at least a year, which I do feel like definitely hindered my experience just a little bit. I don't think you really needed to know much going into it, but I feel like there were characters that were brought up that I didn't quite remember, and there were things that I probably would have caught on to if I had read it more recently. But I personally feel like I just didn't really love the plot of this one. We had a bit of a conundrum, something going on to solve, and I never really got that invested in it, but I feel like the solution resolution, the ending, was just not very satisfying for me. I don't know what I expected this to give, but it wasn't giving whatever that is, which is sad. I didn't dislike it, but I feel like it was very middle of the road. So I think this is also gonna be a 3-star, but I'll sit on it for a little bit longer. But now I'm excited to move on to my next book, which I think is gonna be Love Holly by Emily Stone. I don't know why this is the one that I really want to pick up. This is of course a holiday romance, but I think that it's also a little bit more emotional, and for some reason that's kind of pulling me in. I feel like I've had enough light and fluffy, and I could do for some emotional. Our main character is Holly, and a car accident tore her family apart, and she's a part of a Lonely Hearts holiday letter writing club. So every December they write anonymous letters to each other, and this year her letter is not anonymous, it's from Emma. Emma writes about her estranged grandson Jack, and I think Holly is just determined to reunite them. I think Emma mentions the town that he lives in, and Holly is like, wait, I've been there, I know what that is. And I guess she tracks him down to try and reconnect him with his grandma, and then the two of them end up starting a romance. Because of the whole Lonely Hearts Club, I think that this book is definitely going to deal with a lot of grief, and I'm not sure what else, but I'm prepared for it to be a little bit heavy. And at the moment, I feel like that's what I want. Hopefully I don't regret that. So I'm here to give you the update that I need to give you, but it's not the one I wanted to give you. And that is, first off, I'm not really going to talk much because I have a very painful sore throat and I'm trying not to talk much. I don't know if you can tell by how I look visually, but I am not very well. I am a little sick, not doing the greatest. And I hate to say it, but I'm not going to be able to finish this book in this video. I never want to finish a reading vlog in the middle of a book. My goal is to always finish hopefully 3 books in a vlog, but I simply just won't be able to finish this in the time that I need to get this video up. I'm only about halfway through. So I wanted to just give you my quick thoughts, and then my overall feelings will be in my next wrap up. So far I'm enjoying this, but I don't feel like I'm super connected to it or that into it. It's not like I'm dying to pick it up and read it. I have been listening to it on audiobook when I've been driving, which I really enjoy. If I had anywhere to go, I would definitely be listening to it on audiobook. Maybe I will listen to it while I do some chores around the house or something because I have been enjoying it. So far I like the characters. Emma the grandma is probably my favorite character. I really like her. It's one of those situations where you have a romance that's starting between the two people, but somebody knows something that they really should be telling the other person, and you're just sitting there waiting like, when are they going to tell them? And it's already way past the point of return, so you just know that whenever they tell them, it's gonna like blow up in their face, which I feel like is usually fun. I'm really interested to see how the author is going to kind of pull it together. So far I am enjoying that part of the plot. I'm intrigued to see what's gonna happen. I'm just not totally invested reaching for this book anytime I have a free moment, that kind of thing. But I should definitely be finishing by Christmas, and I will let you guys know what my final thoughts and feelings are in my next wrap up. So I'm sorry that I didn't finish and that I'm leaving you in the middle of this book, but we will reconnect on this later. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!